Hi, my name is Cassandra Landicho, and this is my This I Believe video. To me, leisure means to do things that one finds enjoyable for one's personal development and to do so without obligation. I believe that the activities we choose for our leisure is a form of self-expression. Knowing some parts about who someone is can explain why people choose those activities that they do in their unobligated time. Whatever time one spends on themselves for no other purpose than to bring pleasure is largely influenced by how and what they experience in their lives. According to our text, Pastimes, the context of contemporary leisure by Recl, leisure means different things, depending on people, places, and the time. Defining it requires journeys to different peoples, places, and times. To fully understand my philosophy of leisure, I'll have to somehow define myself. So my own understanding comes from experiences in my life and what activities I choose to do, and I'll explain why I choose to do them. So to break me down into 4 categories, I am Filipino, I am Catholic, I am from the Bay Area, and I am a millennial generation. If you had to journey through my life, you would see huge Filipino family gatherings, a lot of church celebrations, walking through fresh farmers markets, and communicating via a barrage of social media outlets. As a Filipino, I take pride in my culture by participating in traditional Filipino dancing. This applies to my philosophy's point of personal development because it helps me learn about my culture and get more intact with that culture, but it also gives me my much needed exercise. Because I'm Catholic, I also had to take part in aspects of my church. That included taking part in the music ministry, where I joined the choir. Being a part of my church's music ministry in particular has satisfied certain spiritual needs that I can't exactly find in other music programs. My love for music and for singing ties to both points of leisure, being that it is enjoyable and it's for personal growth. These multiple need fulfillments, such as my spiritual fulfillment, is probably the reason why I always join church choirs as often as I can. Living in California also gives me the luxury of choosing the freshest produce and having access to the greatest variety of food in the world. I got inspired at first by television shows to try my hand at cooking, but once I started getting more into cooking and perusing my own town's farmers markets, I learned that I can create so much more dishes and I can be as creative as I want. It forced me, having access to all this food forced me to be more creative and to have excitement in my life and see cooking not as a chore, but as a pleasurable activity. I don't mind taking part in this chore because now I enjoy cooking, and the chore allows me to be creative and expand my skills. Growing up in this day and age, technology has its perks and consequences. But for the most part, I feel that I have benefited from all these various media outlets. Some people say that my generation is known for being too attached to their technology, but I disagree, and that there's more going on with technology other than status updates and mindless scrolling. It's more than boosting one's ego and for shallow entertainment. It's also a great vessel for self-expression and creativity. I myself have a blog, and in my free time, I update it with daily activities that I do. I make collages and I vent. This blog is a means of creativity for myself, and despite me having a small limited audience, it brings me pleasure knowing that a few people read it and know about my life. This brings me joy because it allows me to connect to more people than I probably wouldn't be able to connect to because of where I am. But as is our generation, connectivity is everything in this day of technology. So just know these 4 things about myself, knowing where I come from and my age and knowing my background may help you to understand why I choose the things that I do. But just as every other person, I can change. I grow as a person. So the things that I choose for myself to do would also change. I might always I might not always want to dance. When I get older, I might not be able to. I might not always see cooking as a joy, but rather as a chore. And I might not always have the time to sing or get the luxury of having access to technology. But as I am now, I know that I choose these things because of who I am. And I know that because I am young, my interests will change, and eventually I'll find new ways to be creative and to find leisure in my life, and I'll find new ways to bring myself joy as I grow. For this reason, I believe that the journeys we take in life will shape us, and therefore shape how we find our own happiness. Thank you for watching my video.